Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 12th of April. Starting off with the S&P, where it looks as though no news is good news in terms of the price action. No news if you want the market to go up. We've had consolidation above the rising 50-day moving average around 40.30. We've got the rising 200-day line around 39.50. And ideally, we see this market head higher, i.e. retest February resistance towards 4,200, while there is no breakback below the 50-day line around 40.30. RSI around the 60 level, so nothing to really shout about there on either front, but that is tipped above the neutral 50 level in a decent way. On to the stocks, most of them big movers of late. First is Avalo Therapeutics, and here broken out of this falling wedge at the start of the week. That was around the $1.80 level, above the 50-day moving average around $2.70. We're looking for $5 perhaps as soon as the end of next month. Obviously, the way things are going might be the end of this month, but let's just go for the end of next month, which would take the shares back to where they were in January. Good bullish divergence there as well to back the momentum of the move. Normally with the bullish divergence, i.e. lower lows but higher RSI trace, that does tend to power things along quite nicely. On to the next situation, which is the beautifully named Butterfly Network. Here we've had a second gap of late. The first one, bear trap gap reversal back at the end of, the beginning of the month, and the second one above the 50-day moving average now. Above the floor of the gap around $2.50, we're looking for the top of that broadening triangle from back in December as high as $3.70, which also ties in with the 200-day moving average. Ideally, we could even see that by the end of this month, which would be quite an achievement. So above 250, looking for as high as 370 plus. Moving along to another stock, which is on the front foot, Brookdale Senior Living, a subject close to my heart. Here we've had an unfilled gap to the upside above a rising 50-day moving average. And also we've broken through the 200-day moving average, which is pretty impressive, around that $3.80 level. The longer we stay above the 200-day line, the greater the chance of a move to $4.70 at the top of that broadening triangle from back in November. At this stage, only really well below $3.50. Which was basically the February resistance zone, really delaying the upside scenario on Brookdale Senior Living. Next up, stock which looks as though it is means business for the bulls, CleanSpark, unfilled gap to the upside above a rising 50-day moving average. That's around $2.80. Above that 50-day line, we're looking for as high as $4 as soon as the end of next month. Be cautious, maybe you wait for an end-of-day close above the 200-day line at $3.25, which is not that far away, but the trade at the moment, probably on a technical basis, is to use that rising 50-day line as your stop loss and trading pivot. On to a stock which has had a big percentage rise, innovative eyewear, and here the name of the game, I suppose, is trying to work out where support will come in and stay in. It looks as though it would be around the $3.20 area, which was resistance on the way down back in February. Above that, we're looking for a $5.50 target, which is basically the top of that rising trend channel from August last year. We could hope to see that by the end of this month, even though it has to be admitted that we have hit that or tested the top of that rising trend channel twice and then come back quite painfully from there. So $3.20 definitely a stop loss area for those shares. Stock which is looking decent at the moment, as indeed most of the ones here are. Carmax, another gap above or through the 50-day moving average. In this case, it's around $67. Above that, we're looking for resistance at the 200-day moving average at $74, and then up to, maybe by the end of next month, up to $87 at the top of that rising trend channel from October. Obviously, if you're cautious, you wait for the 200-day line to break, because we haven't been above that. We've been in a bear market for the best part of a year and a half. And so that is something to consider. But on the basis that we have gapped through the 50-day line, this could be a turning point for the shares. Another winner of late has been the stock which is coming up next, Kura Sushi, and Here you can see quite a U-turn, what's a handbrake turn, bear trap gap reversal for the shares, rising 200-day line, and we closed above that, so above that at 67.50. We're looking for the top of that rising trend channel from September, as high as $94 by the end of next month. That's a really strong turnaround, obviously, with those long candles, both on the way down and the way up, and that unfilled gap. Interesting contender next in the form of Minerva Neurosciences. Here you can see that we managed to break back above the 50-day moving average with a gap as well. So above that, around the $2.08 area, we're looking for the shares to hit the top of that broadening triangle from back in December as high as $3.50 by the end of next month. So reasonable risk reward on that situation. And bullish divergence accompanied the turnaround, so that was already rising before the shares went up, so that is another positive for the situation. On to a favorite of the US Chartbreakers, just because it tends to appear many times in many guises. Here we've got another gap higher for Riot Platforms, just near to our initial target there, around $13.60. Above that, looking for a fresh leg to the upside, steeper trend line there from May last year. That's currently pointing to a target in $19, and maybe we could see that by the end of next month at the current rate of progress. Only well below the $11 level now on an end-of-day close, basically really delaying or questioning the upside scenario. Nice situation next from Tempest Therapeutics. Here we've had this V-shaped bull flag. We've broken out of that. The resistance there around $3.25. Above that, we're looking for as high as $4.10 over the next week or two, and perhaps even more, given the way that both the 50 and 200-day moving averages are both rising, and rising potentially into a golden cross. On that basis, the best case scenario here would be a move up to a resistance line, which I'm just about to draw now, if I can get the words out, and that would be towards the $6 area by the end of next month. But if we can get to the $4 area over the next couple of weeks, then $6 plus could be on the cards there for Tempest at the top of that overall triangle from back, well, basically this time last year. Moving along to a stock which covered very recently and seems to be still powering away. We've already hit our target, initial target there on TG Therapeutics around the $22.30 area. End of day close above that, we can have a new leg to the upside up to as high as $26 or $27 by the end of next month. Stop loss on the bull argument at the moment, really at the $20 mark. We want to stay above that on an end of day close basis. Last three in this selection today. First one is WW International. Here we've had a massive gap to the upside. We've got support there at old resistance around $5.50. That old resistance there from February, above $5.50. We're looking not only for a retest of last month's resistance, just shy of $7, but up to as high as $10 by the end of next month. But everything here really depending on holding the $5.50 level. Next is XP Inc., which I don't think I've looked up here before, but nice bullish divergence there, gap higher as well, looking for an initial 50-day moving average target at $13, and then after that to fill the gap up to around $15.50 by the end of next month. Upside valid while we hold above the $11 area. Finishing off with a stock which is another newbie for the US Chartbreakers here, Zim Integrated Services and Integrated Shipping Services, in fact. And here we've got gap down that we had basically earlier in the month, and now the share's turning around in this quite an aggressive way. So it's like a bit of a bear trap gap reversal. End of day close yesterday above the floor of the gap, which was around the $19.88 level. Above that, we're looking to fill the gap up towards $23, which was the gap down from the beginning of the month, and hopefully we'll see that by the end of this month. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.